my name's Daniel Crooks. I'm in Singapore at the moment, as you can probably tell from the palm tree in the background. And I'm here for the Signature Art Prize at the Singapore Art Museum. You know, my main interest really is time, you know, this sort of exploration of time, and you know, what better place to explore that than a moving image. Trying to treat time in a very physical way. So trying to think of it as a material in itself, but also representations of timing. You know, the fact that, you know, in our kind of Western construct, time always travels to the right. You know, any kind of temporal notation, the future is at the right. It's, you know, I mean, it's just a kind of an interesting idea to start with, and that you've got, you know, that time has a direction. Yeah, I think it was, I mean, really it was just that first getting my hands on a video camera, you know, 20 years ago, the fact that you could step outside of time, get a new perspective on the kind of flux and dance of energy, or particularly the relationships between the spatial dimensions and time as a dimension. One of the things that I'm really trying to do in my work is just to offer another way of looking at the world, and hopefully that the model that we have evolved is not the only way of perceiving this dance of energy that we call the world. Static number 12, Seek Stillness and Movement. Well, the original footage was shot in 2009 when I was in Shanghai, and just saw this amazingly beautiful old man who was performing or practicing Tai Chi, but it was very much his own kind of form from what I could tell. I mean, it looked like he was pretty much kind of free form. It was a bit of improv as far as I could tell. He was what I'm always looking for, basically, doing perfectly what I want in terms of a motion signature or a kind of gesture. And so yeah, I mean, I knew I had something pretty amazing when I first saw him, and so plunked the camera down, fully expecting him to either kind of wave us away or stop doing what he was doing. But he sort of saw me there, and he kind of knew I was there, but he was so in the zone that he just didn't care at all. And then he finished, and you know, I kind of sort of gave him the universal sign for thank you. You know, it's like thank you, and kind of a little thumbs up, and he kind of smiled and gave me a little wave and a laugh, and then wandered off. And yeah, I knew it was something pretty special. It was very, you know, incredibly serendipitous moment. So I started researching about Tai Chi, and came across like the 10 commandments of Tai Chi, and the 10th one is to seek stillness and movement. I'd been experimenting with this process of sort of opening this crevasse in time, or within the frame of the moving image, and sort of pulling open this portal. One of the side effects of that is this very sort of static moment, this kind of still that gets pulled out. It's like a graph of the movement. And it kind of really resonated. So, you know, one, with what the guy was doing in terms of, you know, trying to seek this inner stillness in his movements and in his practice, sort of formal processes, and you know, the exploration, like the spatialization of time that I'm particularly interested in. And so these two just came together perfectly, and yeah, so I mean, that's kind of what I did. I just sort of sought to, you know, seek the stillness in that movement, and that's where this work came from. Yeah. What would it mean to me if I won? I mean, it would be fantastic just for my practice in a Southeast Asian context. I mean, it's fantastic just being in the show to start with, getting a Southeast Asian audience to see my work. A chunk of cash like this just enables you to think a little bit larger, to be a little bit more ambitious in the scale of the works that you want to do. And I mean, for me particularly, working with moving image is not a, hopefully it would mean that I could just increase the scale of what I'm trying to do, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, there is, like I said, there is some really great work in the show, and I would not want to be a judge, put it that way. turned out rather well. Feels a little bit odd. I feel a little bit bad for the other artists, but I'm feeling good for this artist. So it's fantastic. I had some thank yous that I had written down 6 people that I had to thank, and I forgot one of them. An anonymous, beautiful man in Shanghai who, for a brief moment, just intersected with me. I mean, you search for those moments, or I search for those moments all the time, and they're once in a lifetime that you get an opportunity like that. So, to you, incredibly strong work, and thank you. Woohoo!